G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because you want to know, did he get it down? Yeah, Super Rugby, Waratahs versus the Western Force in Perth. Round 15. This game came down to the last play of the extra time. Golden point, and Darby Lancaster dot the ball into the corner. Nobody know if this was actually a try or not. And I think this is actually, first up, if you're a regular viewer of this channel, you will know that I talk about this a lot in previous times. The referee, especially the TMO, don't seem to know the law that you don't actually have to be in control of the ball anymore, according to the old laws. You just have to be in contact with the ball and put the ball down with pressure, and this is considered a try. So I've talked about this a lot in my previous videos, even probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I think there was an enduro try that was denied because I think it was the hooker, and then it was like, oh, he lost the ball. I was knocked loose from his hands, but he didn't actually lose contact with his body, and he grounded the ball, and that was denied a try. And I still remember last year, James O'Connor scored a try for the Reds against Wales. There was a game in July between Wales and and the Queensland Reds in their tour to Australia, and James O'Connor scored. Again, the ball came loose, didn't lose contact, and he grounded the ball on his chest, and the TMOs ruled that no try. So in the process of scoring a try, as long as you have contact with the ball, what they call separation. So as long as there's no separation where you can't see a gap between the player's hand and the ball, that's called no separation. And as long as there's no separation and the ball gets grounded with pressure, even if it's pressed down by your chest, it's still a try. Even if you have your hands way out and the ball is just like on your chest and down, that's still a try. So this obviously a little bit inconsistent with what's considered a knock on. If you did that in the middle of the field in a tackle, that is a knock on, still a knock on. But only in the process of scoring a try that law is applied. So we need to consider this situation. Did Darby Lancaster maintain contact with the ball when he went in for the try, right? So there's a couple angles here we wanted to have a look at. So this is probably the one that we're about to see here is the clearest one. Did he lose contact with the ball at any point? So there's no gap, no separation. The ball is down, the hand is on the ball. So no separation of the ball and the hand. Maintain contact. So the first indicator we looked at is that, hey, did he have contact with the ball? Did he maintain? Is there a separation between the ball and the player? There is no. Now, number 2, I think this is something that is a little bit contentious. Did he actually press the ball down? Now, in this frame right here, pause, actually look like he's pressed the ball down. But if we go one more frame, you can see that his hand is actually sliding off the ball here. The ball is already kind of, the ball is really not pressed on the ground. It's kind of just like maybe just on the ground, and then his hand kind of like fell off the ball as the press onto the ball was being applied. So there could be a little argument that this should not be a try because there was no press down, because it looked like he missed the press when the ball was on the ground. So the ball never was pressed down. The ball was just kind of like placed on the ground, and that could be argued for a no try. It's difficult to say. This is a very, very difficult to say. I think based on the one frame, you can say that it was a try. One frame, you can say it was not a try. The most important part of this comes to the referee decision on the field. The referee decision on the field is that this was a no try. So the TMO have to be 100% certain that this ball was pressed down with pressure to actually award the try. So for me, this is really a bit of 50-50 call, but I think that for the fans, it's great that this was a try. But I can see that if the TMO said this was a no try, I can actually totally understand where it would be coming from. But I think that just for the fans, in terms of finishing the game, having everybody go home happy, I think this is, and just because how close it is, I think just to give everybody the celebration is probably the right decision here. But yeah, I can totally see that this being a no try, to be honest with you, just because the press down part of the law isn't quite there, in my opinion. Now, there's a lot of other interesting part of the game that we want to talk about. there was a penalty attempt for the Western Force just during the golden point period where Kurtley Bill was looking like he's going to take it. Everybody still remembers Kurtley Bill kicking a 50-meter penalty to beat the Springboks in Highvale and slipping in the Lions tour in 2013? And slipping and missed the goal in the second test that could have sealed the deal for the Wallabies. Oh boy, still just thinking about that. But hey, he had an opportunity to kick a goal. There was one before the golden point period. He did not slip despite the rain. He actually hit it. He just faded a little bit. You look like maybe the ball had caught the wind, maybe just drifted a little bit wide. But he definitely had the distance, and it looked like the ball set off quite well. And then there was a penalty for the Western Force as well, in the opposite side of the field, pretty much same distance, 55 meter out. I thought the Kurtley was gonna kick this one, and this kid, Alex Harford, came on and told Kurtley that he was gonna take the kick. Now, this guy has only played 2 professional tests, professional rugby, not even professional tests, professional rugby. And just before he decided to take this 50-meter penalty attempt, his touch finder was horrendous. Like there was a penalty before this. He probably kicked about 10 meters from the touch finder. And for me, it's like this guy tried to make a name for himself, in my opinion. And there's nothing wrong with trying to make a name for yourself. But really, he shouldn't be making decisions on behalf of the veterans like Kurtley Bill. I think that's a little bit disrespectful in an attempt to try to make a name for himself to win the game for the team or something. But I get it. You're a young guy. You try to come up and potentially secure yourself a permanent spot at the Western Force. But this is just not the way to go about it. He put his own kind of like benefit ahead of the team. And that's just not really what the rugby is about. I think let me know your thoughts. I didn't really like that. I thought he should have just given it to the veteran Kurtley, who had a record of history of kicking these goals, and he's only been here for literally like 2 weeks. I didn't really think that was the right decision there. But other than that, I was really like hyped that Kurtley was gonna take the kick. But no, I'm a little bit upset Kurtley didn't get an opportunity to win the game for a kick, because I want to see Kurtley come on the Lions game and kick a winning goal for us at some point. But at least he still got the distance, so he still got the boot, he still got the legs. It's still technically possible for that to finish off his career, to finish off the dream to win the Lions tour with the Kurtley last-minute kick. Now, this game was definitely interrupted a little bit by the rain at start and stop. Lots of handling errors. A bit of a bad blood between 2 teams. There was a bit of a sandbags being thrown left and right. But I thought there was just probably way too much kicking. I know there was to be a rainy, but there was just way too many up and unders. Both teams were super conservative on the style. And I understand like why they try to do that. Everybody try to play it safe. Especially the end of the season with bonus points and stuff on the line. But yeah, I just think both teams played too conservatively. There was a trip from Tupou. He did like a soccer slide. I don't know. I thought that could have been a red card, to be honest. But I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, he's a bit out of it, Tupou, to be honest. I don't know what it was that. He's I don't know. Like, you can't play like that. Especially if you're playing for the Wallabies. Bit of brain fade there. But yeah. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about this game. I thought it was, probably 2 teams were a bit too conservative overall, and especially like for the Western Force. I thought if you're at home, those up and unders. Probably just I don't know. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I thought probably maybe the teams could try a bit, try to change things up a little bit, especially after half time. But anyway, let's have a look at the match stats of the game. 3 tries apiece, 398 run meters for the Western Force, the Waratahs 483, 143 carries for the Western Force, 153 for the Waratahs. More efficiency in the carry for the Waratahs there. 15 turnovers conceded for the Western Force, 15 for the Waratahs as well. 211 tackles made for the Western Force, 25 missed tackles. Waratahs, 157 tackles made, 21 missed tackles overall. 41 kicks in play. This is what I'm talking about. Lots of up and unders. 3 conversions. So many missed conversions as well for the Western Force. 3 conversions missed, 2 penalty goals missed, or any of that would have been a would have been a win for the team, but Donaldson wasn't hitting it either. He had a bit of leg issue towards the end of the game as well. But yeah, two missed goals. There's one missed goal for the Waratahs and one missed drop goal. Right, and this is looking at this. 1,151 kick meters. Like, that's stupidly high amount of kick meters. 900 as well for the Waratahs. Just way too much kicking game, in my opinion. And yeah, one liner loss for the Western Force. 5 loss for the Waratahs. I thought maybe, instead of just putting up and unders, like if you recognize that the Waratahs are having a bit of a problem with the lineouts, just thread it down for the, like a like a defensive lineout for the Waratahs to throw around their own 22, just stuff like that to change things up a little bit. Just up and unders all night. Yeah. Anyway, 1 scrum loss for both teams, 2 for the Western Force, 3 for the Waratahs. There was no scrum till the second half of the game, which is, I guess, is kind of advantage for the Western Force, because Tupou did put a bit of a pressure on when he was scrummaging. 15 penalties considered for the Western Force, 14 for the Waratahs, 1 yellow card for both teams. Tupou was the one with sliding yellow card, and the Western Force had a yellow card for cynical play in front of the goal line after a repeated penalty warning as well. So it is what it is. Not too much to talk about this game, to be honest. Let's go through the points recap. 4 minutes into the game, there was a bit of a sloppy handling in the Western Force. The rush defense was quite good tonight for the Waratahs. Tristan Riley rushed up and caught a sloppy pass, ran like 60 meters for the try, 7 points to nil. 11 minutes into the game, the Western Force got themselves back in the good position, parlaying after repeated penalties, warnings for the Waratahs, and then Carlo Tazzano pick and go try into the corner. I think he's got the record for try being scored as a forward, 5 points to the 7 in a season for Western Force. 19 minutes into the game, there was a bit of a scrambling around the field, and again, an intercept that was picked up by Tristan Riley, and there was a little crossfield kick, and then a quick breakdown. There was a pick and go by what's his name? Yeah, it was a pick and go by the Waratahs number 9. What's his name? Jay Gordon. I think that was quick. Yeah, just pick and go. Nice offloads, and then a couple of good hands later. Lancaster ultimately got the ball, went in for the try for the Waratahs. 14 points to the 5. There was some pretty good speed around the rocks for the Western Force after this one. Some good defense, and then eventually 32 minutes of the game. Nice break on the left-hand side for the Western Force. Some good hands back into the field to Greeley. There was like a forward throwing a big pass infield to Greeley down the middle of the field. Try. I'm really surprised that Donaldson missed this one. This one was pretty much like right next to the post, and missed this one. 10 points to 14. 37 minutes in the game, just before halftime. There was a pretty soft tackle from the Waratahs center field defense. Hamish Stewart just ran through, straight through his opposite number, and then went in for the try. And there was a penalty from this, because Hamish Stewart threw the ball at a player after this try was scored. So the Waratahs got a penalty after this try was scored. 17 points to 14. After this, there was pretty much nothing in it after the penalty. There was a 50-meter penalty. Waratahs didn't try to go for a 50-meter penalty kick, but they just, did the kickoff, and that's half time. Second half, Tupou early on got a yellow card for soccer trip, and the 47 minutes into the game, there was a penalty against the Waratahs. Yeah, really nothing happened in the second half. Lots of handling errors until 47 minutes. The rain was coming and going. 78, all into 74 minutes. Finally, there was a penalty kind of in kicking range for the Waratahs. They kicked this one to level the score, and there was a yellow card against the Western Force to repeated penalties. Just before full time, penalty for the Western Force right on 50-meter mark near the sideline. Kurtley Bill faded this one away, and then extra time. 5 minutes in, there was a penalty on the opposite end, pretty much the same spot, same distance, 50-meter out, and near the sideline. And then, yeah, the little kid, young guy, tried to miss this one. Didn't even have quite enough distance. He hit the goalpost, hit the goalpost, but like the post pads, so he didn't quite even have the distance for that one. Not sure why he decided that. Yeah, anyway. And finally, 90 minutes of the game, it looked like the game was going to be a draw. Waratahs forwards just pulled the legs, pump going, ran down in, I think it was the captain. What was his name? Yeah, Sinclair just pumped himself through the middle of the field, linked up with his other forwards. It's just like 3 forwards running down the middle of the field, and then the ball, I think, got tackled near the goalpost, in the middle of the, inside the 22, and then quick ball came out, and then Lancaster dunked the ball in the corner for the try. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I thought it was, entertaining finish, but I thought this game was way too much kicking. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Have a good one. Cheers.